You might have to deal with this. If you don't like it, that's just too bad. That's too bad. I'm sure there are more pressing things for you to be concerning yourself with. Maybe not. I wanted to give a quick update on Realm Feelings. Since, people say there was a shift and whatnot, and that we're somehow shifted out of Cataclysm, or shifted out of a destroyed Earth, whatever, in 2012 or 2010. Multiple sources are referencing this event. And I don't really feel that, personally. As far as being alien to the realm, or the earth, or the world, or not belonging, that's been me the entire time since I was a child. When I was a child and interacting with siblings in the local environment, when I was being homeschooled, before the money disease really hit me, before the social nonsense hit me, I would say I felt very natural and at home. But going to school, once I finally went there and experienced what the other children, I think I would have had to have been with them from the get-go, from as a young child, because I went into high school essentially homeschooled through 7th grade. I went to 8th grade at a local elementary for the last 3 months, and then I went to high school, a private Catholic high school that my dad taught at. And I had already developed a very strong sense of individuality at that point, and we grew up as well without TV, so, and I didn't know any of these kids, and they didn't know me, so it was a very much of an awkward experience. And I stayed at Wallflower in high school. As well, they weren't having any discussions that were interesting. Even back then, I would sit there and listen to these kids talk about stuff, and it was just normal, mundane nonsense, which I engage in as well, but I have to have some connection with the person in order to start fuckery like that, or just shooting the shit, etc. And I wasn't in any place to be able to forge that connection on my own, and they weren't interested in doing it either, so I remained a Wallflower, and I just ingested information. And at some point in my life, something around high school, after I graduated, at some point I stopped doing the Wallflower thing, and I started talking to everybody. It flipped completely. So prior, I was shy and fearful of girls, and didn't know how to talk to anybody, really. Didn't want to talk to anybody. And then I graduated, and something flipped in me, and I decided that I just can talk to everybody, and will if I want to. And I did. And then that has transformed into me doing Lyft and Uber, and literally talking to 50 people every single day for 2 years straight, and doing YouTube and talking to whoever is seeing this stuff for a half a year or something like that. And it has come full circle to where I have no fear whatsoever talking to anybody, and it's all exactly like I was talking to my mom or my brother. And I treat all of you exactly that same way, as if I'm talking to somebody that I've known forever, because I don't see any reason for the division. I don't do that with robots as much because they're not very interesting, but I will still be courteous with them. Anyway, as far as the realm is concerned, the relevance of this external stuff for me is scrunching down to where it has so little import to me personally that I barely even notice what's going on. It's so unimportant. I give that to the automatic portion of me. So I give that to the automaticity of the body knowing how to drive, and the pleasantries that come out when I interact with people that you know, there's nothing there. If somebody hops in here and there's something there, you know, it's not a mystery. It's not like, oh, this guy might be real, or this, you know, it's immediate. The second they walk in, I feel it. And if somebody's coming in and they're a robot or an AI personality, then I feel the absence of that, and I treat them accordingly. But recently there has been the fake aspect of the realm, the part where it's just stuff going on and people moving around, and like the merry-go-round, like a play toy set or something, where just stuff is happening and it's meaningless. That for me has come to be the majority of what goes on here. When I look outside and I see things moving, I see cars moving, I see people walking down the street, that's the majority. And I give no energy to it whatsoever. I don't even notice it, barely. It's automatic. I let the automatic part of me take that situation and do with it whatever it needs to do, whatever it wants. I don't give a shit. I'm not in that. I just simply don't care. There's nothing there for me, so I don't go there. I feel like it's dropping away. I feel like the false or the imposter reality, the overlay, that's just marionette. That's just merry-go-rounds and little horses going up and down with nobody. There's bodies on the horses, but there's, you know, it's there's no ghost in the machine. If there's no ghost in the machine, we got a problem. I feel much closer to animals than I do to most of the humans. Even though the animals are robotic in a sense as well, the animals are there, like they're dancing, they're reacting to what you're doing. The humans are like, oh, glaze in the eyes, you know, keyed into the iPhone or the future or whatever the fuck they're thinking about. So they're, for the most part, extremely boring. It's pretty amazing, really, the ratio. 50 people a day come through here. 50 people a day. Maybe 30, 40. 30 to 50. The numbers aren't good, people. They're not good. why those of us who are here, those of us who are alive, those of us who are spirited, souled beings, as opposed to the ones that aren't, we have a responsibility to act in love, really, to act in compassion, because that's what we have. That's what makes us us. If we don't have that, then we're them, or we're it, or whatever. And like Og says, nobody knows who's who exactly because of all of the there's too much stuff going on. There's too much extra things. And he's talking about, you either look at the material stuff and you say, I don't like that. He's like, whatever's going on over there, I know that's not about me, that's not interested. And you automatically start honing your spiritual side. You start putting energy into the spiritual side, the invisible, the unmanifest, the divinity, the God aspect. You start putting energy automatically into that, and you find that that's where you're fed. That's where you have connection to source. That's where you actually ingest and create and give out energy, and others can sense that in you. And if you're not doing that, you're doing the material path, and you're trying to climb up the corporate ladder, and you're trying to have the best boat and fuck the nicest woman and have a nice ego, I guess. I don't fucking know what these people do. I don't know what they think about. I just know that I don't do that. I like playing games and I like beating people. I like, dominating. That's not a thing that's uncommon to me. I just don't have that same, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the fear mindset with regard to the material, I guess. That would be the easiest way to describe it. Like, I don't ever fear if this particular thing, even this car, like if this car were to decide it was going to drive itself off a cliff, I would be like, oh man, that fucker's finally gone. I can stop worrying about paying for it. Now, something else will happen. Because I don't have this ability to change. Something basically needs to come along and force the patterns to change, because I'm that uninterested in how this physical part plays out. I'm that uninterested. So if something is to change in the physical realm, it has to be something coming along and literally doing something to my situation where I have to react. And that's how it changes. Very strange. There's like a triangle, a pyramid. So there's struts, and then like this, so there's a triangle right here, and then the triangle comes out to the back. So it becomes 3D out the back, and the struts are facing the sun, and this triangle that's basically coming out away from the sun has something inside of it. There's like some sort of material in there that it would appear that whoever set that triangle up, or that pyramid, wanted that stuff looking at the sun for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, all this stuff, the stuff that goes on here is losing interest rapidly. Anything that's not involving true humans, the true situation of us, whatever it is that we are, whatever it is that I am, anything that's not giving information or energy to that, it just doesn't even. People can be talking to me about anything, any situation, stuff, and it will go in one ear, out the other, and I will do my responses and say, yeah, that's cool. I'll say some whatever to keep them happy for the time being. But if it's not about what the fuck is really going on here and our actual role in it, not fluffery and bullshitting and deception, all this nonsense that we're used to, then I don't give a shit about it. I don't care if the whole realm just blows up and incinerates itself. I just don't give a shit. All this stuff is the fakeness of the realm becomes more and more apparent every single waking moment. Every single waking moment. And I still appreciate the beauty of this place. It is put together very nicely as far as aesthetics and nature and this and that. I certainly enjoy those things, but the control structures are so sickeningly oppressive, and the control structures are so hiding. The hiding aspect of the control structures, that's what gets me. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate any sort of hidden hand. I don't appreciate any sort of hidden agenda. I don't appreciate beings or entities or creatures scuttling along in the dark and hiding anytime somebody would shine a flashlight on them. I don't like that. So anyway, I'm going to cut this one short because the other one was 45 minutes and you guys are probably tired of me. So I'm going to cut this one, and be well in the realm, people. Bye.